Hello again. So I'm I want to talk about how this morning I came upon a realization about something that that I think is very important if we are trying to build a connection to and and by that I mean a real connection to other people. And it's funny. This morning I was really overwhelmed by this sense of joy that I actually I actually was on the verge of tears, and then I I naturally was inclined I naturally was inclined to want to share it to other people. So I tried to open up my laptop, but the thing is, when I try to when I try to open Facebook or something, my computer went to freeze, and I think it's probably before that. And today tonight also I wanted to share this thing in YouTube, but but my my mother came came down, and it immediately reminds me of the thing I was gonna be talking about, because it relates to that. It relates to the sense of how we constantly have this desire to want to hide something from others. But I think it's really important, and this is where we come into our topic. So I was gonna talk about I was gonna talk about how we actually build real connection with other people. And one way that I think was really important to do that is by through the willingness to be seen as vulnerable to in the eyes of other people. It's really important, I think, because you need to have this sense of wanting to share something with others. And the way you do that is by realizing that this communication is happening two ways, two streets. So it's coming in and it's coming out. And the only way to do that is if you are brave enough to let other people look directly into your soul. And you won't be able to do that if you are not ready to let yourself be if you're not ready to let yourself be vulnerable, to let your all of your weakness to be presentable to other people. But I don't mean to say that you need to open up about all of your weaknesses to other people. You need to talk constantly about those things. What you need instead is to observe the way other people are talking with you. And in doing so, you kind of let yourself be vulnerable. I think there's this willingness to be open. And there's also one thing that I think is really affecting our ability to be vulnerable in front of other people. And that is from the sense of congruence. The sense of congruence we feel with we feel within ourselves. We we need to have this we need to have this like something within us. We need to check deep down if whatever we are doing, whatever we are expressing, are actually incongruence incongruence with whatever it is that we believe. And you see, there is this sense of we have within us this ideal self, and the other part you have your true self. And by true self I mean your tendencies, your behaviors, and within this ideal self there's this self that you want to be. And the self that you want to be and the self that you actually are, sometimes they are not in congruence. What you need to do to make them match, you need to check if this ideal self is actually really important, or it can be negotiated for your your true self, or if your true self doesn't actually match with your ideal self. And if your ideal self is like I I went off to tangents, and I forgot what I wanted to say. But the point is, you need to make these two selves to be congruent. And to do that, you need to check within yourself if you need to kind of weigh in between which one is more important to your to the value that you actually want to follow. and and you must sacrifice one or the other. And when you do that, you will create this sense of congruence. And then by that congruence, you actually don't feel guilt guilt or shame. Something those things are the things that are creating this like barrier between what's within yourself and like to this channel that is open in other people, and this channel is most often open through their eyes. And you need to be able to let yourself be vulnerable for this kind of there's this connection that is happening. You need to let yourself be seen. You need to be ready at any moment that there must be times when you won't you won't be appear you won't appear always strong. So you need to realize the truth of this and let yourself be vulnerable in front of other people in order for the two of you actually making this connection. And that's the way I think it. Now my sister is coming down and we need to stop this talking. Alright, see you next time.